If you are looking for great, exciting audio for the least amount of dollars possible, make sure you stick around. You are in the right place. Today we're going to cover some in-ear monitors that quite frankly surprised the crap out of me. I'm Barrett, this is Spec of Tech, welcome to the channel. Today is something a little bit new for the channel. I usually stick to home theater and home audio videos, but I absolutely had to do a video on these little in-ear monitors by KBEAR, and they are the OS1 Pros. They had me listening to my playlist over and over again and enjoying every minute of it. I just couldn't believe that such good sound could come from something that was so inexpensive. So if you guys are interested in anything that I'm talking about in the video today, I have dropped links down in the description below. They are affiliate links, so they do help support the channel, but they don't cost you guys anything extra. So if you are thinking of buying anything that I'm talking about, make sure to check the links down in the description. Alright, so let's get straight into the video today, and I know that some of you may be asking what an in-ear monitor is. Well, the definition is a little bit blurry, but they are very similar to earbuds. They operate basically the same way. They have an earpiece that goes inside your ear canal, but an in-ear monitor has a cable typically that will wrap around your ear, and then the device itself is typically larger, and it fits in this little kind of pocket in your ear right here, which actually does offer better ambient noise cancellation. They are commonly used by musicians to hear the music on stage as well as cancel some of the ambient noise, and audiophiles like to use them as well. So from here forward, I will just refer to in-ear monitors as IEMs. IEMs are also quite efficient or have a high sensitivity, so they are typically louder than earbuds, not only because of that, but also because they do a much better job of blocking out ambient noise. IEMs commonly do come with multiple drivers per piece, so you will have either a combination of balanced armature drivers and dynamic drivers, or one or the other, but I have seen as many as 5 or 6 drivers per unit, so that would be 5 or 6 drivers per ear, and most commonly earbuds come with a single driver, although there are some with multiple drivers as well, but it is more commonly found in IEMs. If you guys are looking for more differences between IEMs and earbuds, Google is our friend. There is plenty of information if you simply Google the differences between IEMs and earbuds. Alright, so now that we've covered what they are, I did want to point out that I've actually spent 4 to 8 times more on just some regular earbuds by Klipsch, JVC, or Monster, and guys, they just can't compete to these $26 in-ear marbles. The sound and clarity that these put out for just $26, well, actually at the time of this recording, they're on sale for 20% off, so they're actually less than $26, but the sound that they put out for that amount of money is absolutely incredible. All right, so we're going to get to the sound in just a second, but I do want to cover a few things first, starting with the packaging. The packaging was actually quite well done here. I was impressed again for the price. They packaged these really well, but unfortunately they don't come with any sort of carrying case, so if you do want to protect them, you are going to either have to purchase a carrying case or use the hard box that they come in. They may not come with a carrying case, but they do come with 3 different sizes of ear tips, so small, medium, and large. And if those 3 sizes don't work for you, or if you don't like silicone, of course you can always purchase your own tips on some stores like Amazon or eBay that may work better for you or may be more comfortable. And speaking of comfort, I was actually surprised. I thought that maybe with having such a large device that you place inside your ear canal that it may be uncomfortable, but I found it to be the exact opposite. They were the most comfortable earbuds or in-ear monitors that I've ever used. So if you're like me and you've used many different earbuds in the past, then you probably noticed that you do develop a sore spot in your ear depending on the earbud itself. But I never noticed that with the KBEARs. I used them for multiple hours and multiple days in a row, and I never developed any sort of discomfort or any sore spot in either of my ears. But of course, like anything else, your mileage may vary. Just because they're comfortable for my ears, everybody's ears are different, so they may not be comfortable for you, but the only way to find out is for you to try them. One important thing that I want to point out regarding the fit, or at least the seal of the fit, is that you don't want to push these in too far. You just want to gently press them until you get a nice seal, because if you do press them in too far, you're actually going to be missing out on one of the best things about these in-ear monitors, and that is the glorious full bass. And if you don't like missing out on things, don't miss out on my future videos. Consider subscribing, tick the bell icon if you do, and please take just 1 second out of your day to click that like button. I truly do appreciate it. Alright, so I know that looks is important to some, so let's quickly talk about the aesthetics. These earbuds are available in black as well as a blue and red pair. They both have the same gold lettering as well as the same gold flecks on them. I personally don't mind how these look. I actually like how they look. I could deal without the gold lettering on them, but at the same time it doesn't look terrible. They are an all plastic build, but at the same time they feel robust and seem durable. So one thing I truly like about this design is the fact that it has a 2-pin detachable cable. There is multiple benefits to this, obviously. First of all, if you wreck one of the earbuds or you wreck the cable itself, you can just replace that part. You don't have to replace the whole set. Another benefit is that this cable is a little bit tangly. It does tangle very easily. So if you wanted to get something that may tangle a little less easily, you can easily just purchase a different cable and attach it. But the biggest benefit, in my opinion anyway, is that you can purchase a wireless rechargeable Bluetooth cable that turns these into wireless headphones. I was very impressed with this feature, especially when you consider the price of these IEMs. On the bright side though, despite the fact that this cable does tangle easily, is that it does have a microphone and 1-button control. So one press would pause, another press would play, and then a double click would skip to the next song, which worked flawlessly on my Samsung S21. I know earlier I'd mentioned that IEMs commonly do come with multiple drivers, but in this case it is a single graphene-coated dynamic driver, which offers a smooth, warmer sound that's pleasant, albeit colored. We're going to start off with the strengths of the OS1 Pros, and that is the glorious bass. I do believe that the OS1 Pros have a V-shape or a smile curve, meaning that the low end and the high end is boosted ever so slightly over the mids. But that isn't to say that the mids aren't there as well. If you are looking for something that's a little bit more balanced, I believe you'd be better suited with the KZAS10s. I do have a pair of these as well, and I've dropped a link down in the description below, but we'll get to that in just a bit. But if you do listen to electronic, pop, or rap or hip hop or anything with a decent amount of bass, the OS1 Pros will bring out some incredible bass that actually really impressed me. And it actually manages to keep things fairly clean, especially when you're considering the price. Now, of course, that will depend on which device you are plugging these into and what you're using to listen to. I did find that the OS1 Pros sounded better on my Samsung S21 versus when I was listening to them on my Acer laptop. So when I was doing my listening on both my laptop and my S21 phone, I was using Ultra HD music from Amazon Music Unlimited. One song that I actually like to test my subs with is Kill Shot by Eminem, so I just had to see how these OS1 Pros could handle it. There is a note in this song that I'm guessing is somewhere around 22 to 25 hertz, and the OS1 Pros not only hit that note, but they did so with authority and managed to remain clean, at least at reasonable volumes anyway. So when there is a lot of complexity in a song, or there's multiple instruments or multiple layers, especially when accompanied with some heavy bass, you will hear that they do lose their composure just a little bit or lose some clarity, but keeping the volume a little bit lower will help this. But if you are an individual that likes to crank things to the max, you will notice that these will start to lose their composure at louder volumes, but I'm talking about volumes that at least a typical listener won't be listening at because it could be damaging to the ear. But if you do listen to your music at what I would consider a reasonable volume, then these will remain clean and clear. So let's talk about the highs of the OS1 Pros. I do find it to be very clear, very clean as well. But like I stated earlier, the sound here is a little bit warmer. So it does kind of tame down that top end just a little bit. I wouldn't say that you lose any clarity, but you do lose any harshness, at least from my experience. Of course, this all depends on the recording that you're listening to. If it is a harsh or bad recording, these will reveal that. But that's exactly why I myself have made the transition to Amazon Music HD. They have millions and millions of files that are Ultra HD that I find to just be crystal clear, and you're not going to find a bad recording there. So these work very well with Amazon Music HD. If you are listening to a good recording, the OS1 Pros are very fulfilling and rich. And speaking of rich, the mids are not to be forgotten. The OS1 Pros do have a V or smile curve, at least in my opinion, but the mids are still there to fill in the middle with a very rich, smooth sound that give the sound signature more of a warm touch. But of course, if you don't like a V or smile curve, a lot of music apps do offer an EQ. Even my Amazon Music HD app has an equalizer built in, so you can adjust this to preference if you do want to change the sound. When it comes to vocals, I found that the OS1 Pros did equally well with both female and male vocals. One track that really stood out in my mind was the acoustic version of The Joke's on You by Charlotte Lawrence. The OS1s just handled it so well, I had to listen to it several times just so I could take it all in. So with all that said, guys, to sum it all up, the OS1 Pros will not only give you a beautiful musical experience for their price, in my opinion, they're going to give you a beautiful music experience regardless of their price. For those of you that are familiar with me, you know that I do a lot of traveling, so I typically do carry a couple pairs of clipped earbuds as well as a wireless pair of Soundpeats, and I must say that even though I paid significantly more for all three of those pairs, the OS1s are just better in every way. So to make sure that I can utilize these for my workouts as well, I did order the wireless Bluetooth rechargeable cable, which I've dropped a link for down in the description. But this way, when I'm on the go or I'm working out, I can still use the OS1 Pros. So of course there is better sound out there to be had, and I was curious about this myself. So as I said earlier, I have purchased another pair of in-ear monitors, and they are the KZAS10s. These in-ear monitors are about $60 on Amazon. I've dropped a link down in the description below if you want to see current pricing. But with spending just over twice the amount of money, what you get is a little bit more clarity, a little bit more separation in the frequencies, and a broader, bigger sound stage. But surprisingly, I still preferred the bass on the KBEAR OS1 Pros over the KZAS10s. But if you are looking for the next step up in sound quality, consider looking at the KZAS10s. But when I think about how much I paid for the OS1 Pros and how much enjoyment I've actually gotten out of listening to all my music again, it's just a no-brainer to me. So if you are looking for an inexpensive pair of in-ear monitors that not only has great sound for their price, but just great sound period, I would highly recommend that you give these a try. And if you keep the price in mind when you're listening to these, I have no doubt that you will be as blown away as I am. So for me personally, they've impressed me so much, they have opened my eyes to in-ear monitors, so I may just dive down this rabbit hole a little bit deeper. And if you would like to join me on my trip down the rabbit hole, make sure you consider subscribing, tick the bell icon if you do, and please take just 1 second out of your day to hit that like button. I honestly do appreciate it. Remember to enjoy your systems, and in this case, enjoy your music. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.